Most countries that has educated their ladies or their girls or their women or their children are better in terms of economic performance than those ones who take education of girl child as not something very important.
When you get the percentage of the learned people in Karamoja, 3/4 of the learned people come from Abim district.
Some of these parents, they don't always value the education of their girls. It is boys to educate and not girls.
Without education, there is no way, no success to life.
The issue is the children of Karamoja, the right to education is being violated. At UNICEF, we work with the government, we support the government to deliver basic services for children so that the rights can be realized. And education is one of the priority rights.
We are the leaders of tomorrow. We shall take in the advice that we may live longer.
This project tries to involve children actively in using creative media, which includes the camera, the video, the sound, as well as possibly traditional media like dance, music, drums, plays, and so on. And they're learning how to dialogue with teachers, with peers, with older people in the community and bringing them in. We are going to try and scale it up next year, going to other communities that are disadvantaged.
I think for Abim district, I have high expectations. Unlike the rest of Karamoja, this is a district where you have the population relatively settled. In terms of their outlook to life and their commitment to programs like education, they are quite different. I anticipate that they'll take up initiatives like this one, this multimedia program, very vigorously, and possibly they'll become the model district from which other districts can learn.
Abim district is very unique of all the Karamoja districts.
Abim is a new district. It was created in July this year. Abim, of course, is in Karamoja. Karamoja is among the most disadvantaged districts, and Abim is the newest district. But it is also different from the rest of Karamoja.
We are geographically situated in Karamoja, but ethnically we are different. Our way of life, our lifestyle is not that of pastoralists. We are a settled people.
The population of Abim mainly depends on agriculture, and then they also take their children to school. That's why they are here.
Our main insecurity is caused by the warriors, the cattle raiders.
You have to realize being in Karamoja region doesn't mean we have the same culture.
In Abim district, particularly Kiru, there's always waylaying of people on the roads, and even killings, and even threats in the gardens. They always kill people in their gardens.
Like people who have very far gardens, their farms very far, they fail to go there to dig. They remain at home sitting. So they end up, at the end of the day, there's nothing. They are vested like millet, maize, which they can sell and get something to pay their children to school. And also us around here. Now if the animals are already been taken away.
They value cows because that's what they use for their marriage. And that is mainly, they're pastoralists, moving from one place to another. As I told you that we had cows, but now they've taken away from them because we don't have guns.
One in possession of a gun is, first of all, very arrogant. He thinks he's the power of the world. And by that, they tend to possess everything by force.
My colleague was abducted by the LRA, and then he was killed.
My experience in the year 1991, when I was a student in Abim Senior Secondary School, I was sleeping in a dormitory. Somebody knocking the door and saying that everybody up. And I saw people with pangas. Only to realize these were the LRA, Lord Citizen Army. So we were told to get up and start making a queue into the store to carry the food from the store. They gave me a carton of cooking oil. I carried it on my head. I proceeded a distance of 20 kilometers walking on foot. But of course, we were all aiding into the land of Acholi. So we carried cooking oil, we carried posho, we carried drugs from the hospital. I mean, they looked at me, they sympathized because I was the youngest. They said, no, please, just get back home. And from there, I moved back home while the rest continued. Up to now, some have not come back. I remember there's somebody whom was my bedmate, did not come back up to now. I believe he's still there in the bush. I know this war has really caused suffering in this northern Uganda. Many people have come homeless. Many children have suffered. The young girls have gone to be married because of problems.
This is an area where insecurity is quite rampant. Every time you think of coming, you ask yourself, how is the place? Is it going to be okay? But once you're in the district, you find that scare is really not something that you shouldn't worry much about. You find things going on, you find yourself performing what you came to do, and you find people busy also implementing activities.